My dear brothers and sisters, we live in a time where everyone is asking people, asking for help, asking for support, asking for opportunities. And sometimes we forget the one who has everything. We forget the one who controls the hearts, the sustenance, the doors, and the outcomes. We forget Allah. Let me remind you of something powerful today. Stop asking people excessively and start turning to Allah with full conviction. Because when Allah gives, He does not measure the way we measure. When He opens doors, no one can close them. And when He provides from places you never even imagined. After Fajr, there is a special time, a calm, peaceful moment where the world is quiet and your connection with Allah can be at its strongest. Many people rush away after prayer, jumping back into their daily routine. But the successful ones, they sit for a moment. They remember Allah. They build a connection. There is a simple practice. A dhikr, something so easy that anyone can do it, yet so powerful that it can change your life if done with sincerity. Recite it 7 times after Fajr with full belief in your heart, not just words on your tongue. Because Allah does not look at how much you say, but how sincere you are when you say it. You see, rizq is not just money. Rizq is peace. Rizq is contentment. Rizq is barakah in what you already have. Some people earn a lot but feel empty. Others have little but live with tranquility. Others have little but live with tranquility. That is because true wealth comes from Allah, not from numbers in your bank account. When you sit after Fajr and remember Allah, you are telling Him, Ya Allah, I trust you. I rely on you. I know you are enough for me. And Allah loves that. Allah loves when His servant turns to Him with humility and hope. But remember this, it's not magic words. It's not a shortcut to riches without effort. Islam teaches us balance. You make your effort, you work hard, you strive in halal ways, but your heart remains attached to Allah. That is the secret. Be grateful for what you have, even if it feels small, because gratitude increases your blessings. Allah Himself promises that when you are thankful, He will give you more. And sometimes the more you receive is not what you expected, but it is exactly what you needed. Consistency is the key. Not one day, not 2 days, but every single day. Even when you don't see results immediately. Even when you don't see results immediately. Even when you don't see results immediately. Because Allah is testing your sincerity. Are you remembering Him only when you want something, or are you doing it because you truly believe in Him? My dear brothers and sisters, change your mindset today. Stop chasing people. Stop depending on creation. Turn to the Creator, sit after Fajr, recite with sincerity, trust Allah completely, and watch how your life begins to change, not just in wealth, but in peace, in barakah, and in contentment. Because when Allah becomes enough for you, everything else falls into place. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the greatest misunderstandings we carry in our lives is where true wealth actually begins. Many of us think wealth is what we hold in our hands, what we see in our accounts, or what people recognize us for. But the reality is far deeper than that. True wealth does not begin with money. It begins with your relationship with Allah. We live in a world where asking people has become a habit. The moment we face difficulty, we look around us. Who can help me? Who has connections? Who can open a door for me? And while there is nothing wrong with seeking help in a balanced way, the problem begins when our hearts become attached to people instead of the one who created those people, We start believing that this person is the source of our success. That opportunity comes from them. That provision is in their hands. But that is not true. Every single thing you receive in your life is from Allah. Even when it comes through people, it is still from Allah. That person you are relying on, they themselves are dependent on Allah. Their ability, their wealth, their influence, it all belongs to Him. So why attach your heart to someone who is just as needy as you are? When you constantly ask people, you may receive something, but often it comes with a hidden cost. Sometimes it affects your dignity. Sometimes it changes the way people look at you. Sometimes it even burdens your heart because now you feel indebted to them. But when you turn to Allah, you lose nothing. In fact, you gain everything. You gain peace, you gain honor, and you gain a sense of independence that no human being can give you. Reliance on Allah does not mean you sit back and do nothing. It means your heart is firmly connected to Him while your body continues to strive. You work, you try, you make effort, but deep inside, you know that the result is not in your hands. It is in the hands of Allah. This mindset changes everything. It removes anxiety, it removes fear, and it replaces it with trust. Think about it. When you ask Allah, you are asking the owner of everything. The khaza'in, the treasures of the heavens and the earth belong to Him. He is not limited. He does not get tired. He does not become annoyed when you ask repeatedly. In fact, Allah loves when you ask Him again and again. Compare that to people. How many times can you ask before they begin to feel uncomfortable or distant? True wealth begins when your heart feels content even before your circumstances change. That contentment comes from knowing that Allah is enough for you. When you reach that level, even if you have little, you feel rich. And if Allah decides to give you more, it becomes a bonus, not the foundation of your happiness. So shift your focus. Instead of running after people, run towards Allah. Instead of depending on creation, depend on the Creator. Call upon Him in your sujood, in your quiet moments, especially in the early hours of the day. Speak to Him with sincerity, with humility, and with full conviction that He is Qadirate over everything. And once your reliance is in the right place, you will notice something beautiful. Your worries begin to fade, your heart becomes lighter, and doors begin to open in ways you never expected. Not because people suddenly became more generous, but because Allah decided to give. And when He gives, no one can stop it. That is where true wealth begins. Not in your hands, but in your heart's connection with Allah. My dear brothers and sisters, there is something truly special about the early hours of the morning, especially the moments that follow Fajr. While much of the world is still asleep or just waking up, there is a calmness in the air, a purity in that time that we often overlook. It is not just another part of the day. It is a gift from Allah, an opportunity that many people miss simply because they do not recognize its value. After Fajr, your heart is in a unique state. You have just stood in prayer, you have recited the words of Allah, and you have begun your day by remembering Him. Your soul is soft, your mind is clear, and distractions are minimal. This is the perfect moment to build a deeper connection with your Creator. Yet many of us rush away. We finish the prayer and immediately return to our phones, our work, or even our beds without realizing what we are leaving behind. This time holds Barakah. The Prophet ﷺ made dua for blessings in the early part of the day, and this shows us that there is something powerful about these moments when you choose to remain seated after Fajr, even if it is for a few minutes. Remembering Allah, making Dhikr, and turning to Him sincerely, you are investing in your entire day. You are setting the tone not just for your actions, but for your mindset, your emotions, and your connection with Allah. Think about how your day usually begins. If it starts with stress, rushing, and distraction, that feeling tends to carry on throughout the day. But when your morning begins with calmness, remembrance, and gratitude, it creates a sense of peace that stays with you. That's a bit low. That is the beauty of using your mornings wisely. It is not just about what you do in that moment, but how it shapes everything that follows. The quiet after Fajr is also a time when your dire why carries a different weight. You are not surrounded by noise. Your heart is not overwhelmed with worldly concerns yet, and your focus is stronger. When you raise your hands at that time, speaking to Allah with sincerity, it comes from a place of clarity and honesty. You are not just repeating words, you are truly connecting. And then comes the beauty of simple acts of worship. A small amount of the Dhikr done consistently after Fajr can have a profound impact on your life. It may seem small in effort, but in the sight of Allah, it is adiyam. What matters is not the length of what you say, but the sincerity and consistency behind it. These are the moments that bring barakah into your rizq, your time, your health, and your relationships. Many people complain that their days feel heavy, unproductive, or lacking peace. But sometimes the solution is right at the beginning of the day. If you fix your morning, you begin to fix your life. If you dedicate those early moments to Allah, Allah places barakah in everything that comes after. It is also a sign of discipline and love for Allah. When you resist the urge to jay, or back to sleep, or to get lost in distractions, and instead choose to sit and remember Him. This small sacrifice is noticed by Allah. And when Allah notices your effort, He rewards you in ways you cannot imagine. So take advantage of this time. Guard it, protect it. Even if you start with just 5 minutes, make it consistent. Sit after Fajr. Remember Allah, make your dua, and begin your day with purpose. Because those quiet moments in the morning may seem small, but they carry the power to transform your entire life. My dear brothers and sisters, sometimes we search for big solutions to our problems. We think that in order to change our lives, we need something complicated, something extraordinary, something that requires a great amount of effort or knowledge. But the beauty of Islam is that it often gives us simple actions with immense rewards. Small deeds, when done with sincerity and consistency, can completely transform a person's life. Among these simple acts is dhikr, the remembrance of Allah, words that are light on the tongue, yet heavy on the scale. Words that take only seconds to say, yet carry the power to bring peace to your heart, clarity to your mind, and barakah into your life. But here is the key. It is not just about saying the words, but here is the key. It is not just about saying the words. It is about how you say them. A person may repeat a phrase many times, but their heart is absent. Their tongue is moving, but their mind is elsewhere. And another person may say the same words fewer times, but with full presence, with deep belief, and with sincerity. The difference between the two is adhyam. Allah does not look at the quantity alone. He looks at the quality, at the intention, at the state of your heart. When you are given a simple dhikr to recite, especially at a blessed time like after Fajr, do not underestimate it. Do not think, how can something so small make a difference in my life? Because not small in the sight of Allah. When you repeat it with conviction, you are strengthening your connection with Him. You are reminding yourself that Allah is the source of everything. You are shifting your focus from the dunya to the one who controls the dunya. Consistency is what turns something small into something powerful. One day of dhikr may make you feel good, but a habit of daily remembrance begins to shape who you are. It changes your thinking, your reactions, your priorities. Slowly but surely, your heart becomes more attached to Allah and less attached to the temporary things of this world. There is also a sense of discipline that comes with committing to a simple act every day. Even when you are tired, even when you are busy, you still take a moment to sit and remember Allah. This shows sincerity. This shows that your relationship with Allah is not based on convenience, but on commitment. And when Allah sees that you are consistent in remembering Him, He blesses you with consistency in other areas of your life as well. Sometimes people are looking for dramatic changes, sudden success, instant relief, immediate results. But Allah teaches us through these small acts that real change is gradual. It builds over time. Just like a drop of water can eventually shape a rock, a few moments of sincere dhikr every day can reshape your heart and your life. And remember, dhikr is not only about asking, it is about acknowledging Allah, praising Him, and placing your trust in Him. When your heart is filled with remembrance, it naturally becomes filled with peace. And when you have peace, you begin to approach life differently. Your worries become lighter, your patience becomes stronger, and your hope in Allah increases. So never underestimate a simple act. Never think that something small cannot lead to something great. In the path to Allah, it is often the small. Thine deeds done sincerely and consistently that bring the biggest transformations. And perhaps that one simple dhikr repeated every morning with a sincere heart could be the very reason Allah opens doors for you that you never even knew existed. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the most comforting truths in our faith is that Rizq, our provision, is entirely in the hands of Allah. It is not limited to what we see, not confined to our expectations, and not dependent solely on our plans. Allah provides in ways that are beyond our imagination, beyond our calculations, and beyond what our minds can even comprehend. Sometimes we become anxious about our rizq. We worry about income, opportunities, success, and stability. We start thinking that everything depends on our effort alone. Our qualifications, our connections, our strategies. And while effort is important and required, we must never forget that the outcome is always from Allah. You can plan perfectly, work tirelessly, and still not achieve what you hoped for simply because Allah has written something different. And on the other hand, you may find doors opening for you that you never even knocked on. This is the beauty of trusting Allah. When you truly believe that your provision is already written, it removes a huge burden from your heart. You still strive, you still work hard, but you are not consumed by fear. You are not constantly stressed about what if. Instead, you have a calm certainty that whatever is meant for you will reach you, no matter how far it may seem. Allah tells us through many reminders that He is the best of providers, not just a provider, but the best. This means He knows what to give, when to give it, how much to give, and whether it is truly good for you. Sometimes we think we want something, but if we had received it, it might have harmed us. And sometimes we are denied something only to later realize that it was actually a protection. Rizq is not always money. It can come in many forms. It can be good health, a peaceful home, supportive relationships, or even the ability to sleep without worry. These are blessings that many people overlook because they are too focused on material gain. But when Allah places barakah in your life, even the little you have feels like a lot. And then there are those moments when Allah surprises you, when something comes your way from a place you never expected. An opportunity appears suddenly. A problem is solved in a way you didn't plan. Help comes at the exact moment you need it. These are not coincidences. These are reminders that Allah is in control and that His ways are far beyond our limited understanding. But there is something important to remember. Trusting in Allah's provision does not mean being passive. It does not mean sitting back and waiting for things to fall into your lap. Islam teaches us to tie our camel, to take the means to work, to strive in halal ways. But at the same time, our hearts remain attached to Allah, not to the means themselves. When your heart understands this balance, life becomes lighter. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop feeling jealous of what they have because you know that your rizq is uniquely written for you. What is meant for them will never be meant for you, and what is meant for you will never miss you. So place your trust in Allah completely. Call upon Him, remember Him, and believe with certainty that He will provide for you in the best way possible. Even if it takes time, even if it comes differently than you expected, it will come in a way that is higher for you. Because when Allah is your provider, you are never truly lacking. And when you truly understand that, your heart finds a level of peace and contentment that no amount of wealth alone could heal. Bring, my dear brothers and sisters, there is a powerful connection between gratitude and trust in Allah and the opening of doors in our lives. Many of us are searching for increase, more wealth, more success, more opportunities. But we often overlook two keys that Allah Himself has given us: shukr and tawakkul. Gratitude and trust. These are not just beautiful concepts, they are transformative forces that can completely change the direction of your life. Gratitude begins with recognizing what you already have. And if we are honest with ourselves, every single one of us is surrounded by blessings. Some are obvious and others are so constant that we no longer notice them. The ability to wake up, to breathe, to move, to think, to have even a little bit of provision, these are all gifts from Allah. Yet the human nature is such that we focus on what is missing rather than what is present. When you begin to consciously thank Allah for what you have, something shifts inside you. Your perspective changes. Instead of feeling deprived, you begin to feel blessed. Instead of constantly chasing more, you begin to appreciate the now. And this is not just an emotional benefit. This is a promise from Allah. He tells us that if we are grateful, He will increase us. This increase is not always limited to wealth. It can come in the form of barakah, peace, stability, and even unexpected opportunities. At the same time, trust in Allah strengthens that gratitude. Because when you trust Allah, you believe that whatever He has given you right now is exactly what you need at this moment, and whatever He has withheld, there is wisdom behind it. This kind of trust removes the bitterness that sometimes creeps into our hearts. It removes the question of why not me and replaces it with alhamdulillah for everything. Think about how often people become frustrated because things are not going according to their plans. They lose hope, they become negative, and sometimes they even stop making dua. But when you combine gratitude with trust, your mindset becomes different. You continue to strive, you continue to ask Allah, but you do so with contentment. You are not desperate in a way that weakens your faith. Rather, you are hopeful in a way that strengthens it. There is also something beautiful about how gratitude attracts more al-haya into your life. When Allah sees that you appreciate His blessings, that you acknowledge them, and that you use them in a good way, He opens doors for you. Sometimes those doors are opportunities you never expected. Sometimes they are solutions to problems that seemed impossible. And sometimes they are simply a deep sense of peace that no amount of wealth can buy. Trust, on the other hand, keeps you steady when things are difficult because life will not always be easy. There will be moments of uncertainty, moments of delay, moments where you feel like nothing is changing. But when you truly trust Allah, you do not lose hope in those moments. You understand that Allah's timing is perfect even when it does not match your expectations. When gratitude and trust come together, they create a powerful balance. You are thankful for what you have and hopeful for what is to come. You are content, yet still striving. You are patient, yet still making dawah. This balance protects your heart from negativity and fills it with light. So make it a habit to thank Allah daily, not just with your words, but with your heart. Reflect on your blessings, no matter how small they may seem, and place your complete trust in Allah, knowing that He is managing your affairs in the best way possible. Because when you live with gratitude and trust, you will begin to see doors open. In your life, doors you never even knew existed. And you will realize that what you once thought was a delay was actually a preparation for something far greater. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the greatest secrets to success in both this life and the hereafter is consistency. Not grand gestures that come and go, not bursts of motivation that fade away, but small, steady actions that remain firm over time. Many people underestimate the power of doing something little every day, but in reality, it is these small acts that bring the greatest blessings. We often think that in order to change our lives, we need to do something big. We wait for the perfect moment, the perfect mindset, or a sudden surge of motivation. But that moment rarely comes. And even if it does, it doesn't last. What truly changes a person is discipline. The ability to continue even when you don't feel like it, even when the results are not immediately visible. In Islam, we are taught that the most beloved deeds to Allah are those that are consistent, even if they are small. This teaches us something very important. Allah is not looking at how impressive your actions are in the eyes of people, but how sincere and regular they are in your daily life. A few minutes of dhikr every day, a small dua after every prayer, a moment of reflection in the morning. These may seem insignificant, but with consistency, they become azim. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't see the tree immediately, you water it daily, you care for it, and for a while it may seem like nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, something is growing. Roots are forming, strength is building, roots are forming, strength is building, and then one day it begins to appear. Slowly, steadily, it becomes something strong and beneficial. Your good deeds are exactly the same. When you commit to a simple act, like sitting after Fajr and remembering Allah, you are planting a seed in your life. At first, you may not notice a big difference, but over time, your heart begins to soften, your thoughts begin to change. Your connection with Allah becomes stronger, and eventually you start to see the impact in your rizq, in your peace, and in your overall life. Consistency also protects you from falling into extremes. Some people do a lot at once and then burn out completely. They become overwhelmed and stop altogether. But when you keep your actions small and manageable, you create a routine that is sustainable. It becomes part of who you are, not something you struggle to maintain. There will be days when you feel tired, days when you're busy, days when your motivation is low. But these are the days that matter the most, because when you continue, despite those feelings, it shows sincerity. It shows that you are not ibadatting Allah based on your mood, but based on your commitment to Him. And with that consistency comes barakah. Allah places blessings in your time, in your efforts, and in your results. You may find that you are able to accomplish more with less stress. You may notice that opportunities begin to come your way more easily. You may feel a sense of calm and stability that you didn't have before. The key is not to stop. No matter how small the action is, hold on to it. Protect it. Build it day by day. Because those small, consistent deeds are like drops of water that eventually fill an ocean. So do not underestimate what you can do daily. Start small but stay firm. Be consistent in your remembrance, in your dawah, in your efforts. And trust that Allah sees every single step you take. Because in the path to success, it is not the speed that matters. It is the consistency. And with consistency, even the smallest actions can lead to the biggest blessings. My dear brothers and sisters, as we come to the end of this reminder, let us reflect on what truly matters. Life is not about how much we chase, how much we gather, or how many people we depend on. It is about where our hearts are attached. If your heart is connected to Allah, then even the smallest actions will carry immense weight, and even the little you have will feel like more than enough. Stop exhausting yourself by constantly asking people and start turning sincerely to Allah. Use the blessed time after Fajr when your heart is calm and your mind is clear to remember Him. Hold on to simple acts of dhikr even if they seem small and be consistent with them. Trust that your rizq is already written and that Allah will provide for you in ways you cannot imagine. Be grateful for what you have and place your camel trust in Him for what is yet to come. Remember, it is not about instant results. It is about building a relationship with Allah that transforms your life from within. When your qalb is at peace, when your trust is firm, and when your gratitude is sincere, you begin to experience a knock of wealth that cannot be measured by numbers. So walk away from here with a renewed mindset. Start small but stay consistent. Turn to Allah daily, especially in those quiet morning moments. And believe with certainty that when Allah is your focus, everything else will fall into place. Because true success is not just in what you gain in this world, but in the peace you feel within it and the reward that awaits you in the akhirah.